Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of May 29th, 2019. Let's get right into it. It's a fifth week, so normally there's not very much out in the fifth week, but this week there's there's not a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of big books out this week. So let's get right into it. First up, we have Ascender number 2 by Jeff Lemire and art by Justin Nguyen. This continues from Descender. I like the first issue. I'm curious to see where they go with this. Switch over from more of a more sci-fi thing to a more fantasy type book. But we'll see. But Ascender's been good. I've been enjoying it. So next up is one of the big titles out this week, and that is Snyder and Capullo's Batman: A Last Night on Earth, book 1. This is from Black Label. It is not magazine size like Damned, which is really good, but it is a thicker format. You get more pages. So yeah, really good stuff. Cannot wait to find out why the hell Joker's head is living in a lantern. Just I don't know. I'm curious. Really curious. But Snyder and Capullo back at it on Batman. Really cool stuff. Next up, we have Bloodshot Rising Spirit, number 7. Bloodshot's been okay with this series. It's not the best one. I'm kind of waiting for it to improve, but who knows. But overall, yeah, we'll see. Next up, we have the Catwoman Annual number 1. Joel Jones' art's amazing. This Catwoman story arc has been pretty cool so far, so I'm curious to see what the annual has in store for us. Next up is the Detective Comics Annual number 2. It looks like we're heading back to the Black Glove case. Yeah, we'll see. Tomasi's going to take a stab at the origin stuff, so we'll see where that goes. Next up is a DC special, and that's the Dog Days of Summer. This is a whopping $10 book for you. Yeah, if you like those anthologies and those collections, just random stories, and check it out, I highly recommend it. I've been enjoying the specials they've been putting out. No, they're not terrible, but yeah, it's something different and it's fun. Next up is another big one this week, and that's Doomsday Clock number 10. I read it already, and holy crap, this issue is fantastic. It explains Rebirth and New 52 and all of that stuff in a really solid way. It's just, I hate to use the word and sound cheesy, but this is meta. Like, this is definitely meta. It's great stuff. Johns does a fantastic job on this. Gary Frank's art's fucking amazing. I'm sorry I swore, but it's just really good stuff. So I cannot wait to dive back in and reread it. Yeah. Next up, we have The Forgotten Queen in number 404. This ends the Forgotten Queen miniseries that Valiant put out. It's okay. I was not a huge fan of Forgotten Queen. It kind of was just a footnote story. So there's supposed to be stuff coming out of it. We'll see. But yeah. Next up is another big book from DC this week, and that's Heroes in Crisis number 9 of 9. We get to finally figure out and know what the hell is going on in this book, and man, does Heroes in Crisis deliver. It is fantastically done. If you go online and read reviews and how people talk and what people's opinions on Tom King's version of Wally West, it's all just a bunch of garbage. You need to read Heroes of Crisis for yourself and formulate your own opinion. The book is going to be something that's talked about for years to come. It's definitely up there with Identity Crisis and how it's going to affect the DC universe going forward. And to me, I think it's really just a significant book in itself, in just the story it tells, not necessarily just about Wally, but about Booster Gold and Harley Quinn and all of the characters that are featured in it at some point. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the book, and that, if quick kind of just laissez-faire, like blah, whatever read is not going to give you. This book is going to be something that's analyzed for a long time, and it's definitely something that I'm going to recommend. Not recommend like, oh, you just need to read this, but it's something that is definitely one of those things that's like top tier, more literature like than most comic books are. And yes, good stuff. Next up, we have Punk Mambo number 2. What can I say? It's Cullen Bunn's doing an okay job on it. It's not horrible, it's not great, it's just in the middle. Next up, we have Stranger Things Stranger Things 6, 1 of 4. This is actually taking a look at a different kid from the program in Stranger Things that 11 comes from. So 6 is one previous to 11. So I'm curious to see what is going on in this book and how it expands the Stranger Things mythos. I'm super excited to check out season 3 when it comes out on Netflix. So yeah, good stuff. Next up, we have another big book, and this is a $10 book. I mean, there's a really pricey books this week, but good stuff. And that's Superman Leviathan Rising special from for the Leviathan Rising stuff. Like, I'm super stoked for this. Bendis's action has been some of the best, like, kind of just like crime, like street level stuff Superman's been in a while, and it's just really fantastic. You need to go back and read Bendis's action and his Superman. It's really good stuff. Start with that Man of Steel mini, or actually start with the 1000 Action 1000, and then go straight into that Man of Steel mini, and then come out full bore into action in the Superman. You're okay. It's great stuff. If you're not there yet, pick up Leviathan Rising. See if this is where you like, if there's something that's up your alley. But I do highly recommend it. I don't think stores ordered enough of it. Because it is a $10 book. It's a little something that they're standoffish about. But it is, I mean, it's super thick. Like, it's a giant thing. Like, it's a special. It's something that it's worth $10 being the size it is. So if you can't find it at your local shop and you're curious, head on over to comicsconspiracy.biz. And we have plenty. You can order it from there and we'll ship it out to you. So yeah. Last up on the pull list is Wildstorm number 23. We're one away from the end of this. I have no idea what goes on in this book, like, month to month. I read it, I'm like, cool, and then I forget it. And I'm like, I don't even know what happened in issue 1. So I've enjoyed it. It's cool, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm reading Wildstorm. That's it. I'm just reading it. Next up are some of the variants that came out this week. The first one that is up is the Batman Last Night on Earth variant. So this is the one I snagged right there. And a Doomsday Clock had one. Oh, teased Justice Society. Ooh, good stuff. For Doomsday Clock 10. Heroes in Crisis did have its Polaroid variant. We were our copies were damaged, so we did not. So we're hopefully going to be getting more of those in next week or the week after. But it's Booster Gold is the guy that's featured in it. So I want that one. It's really cool. So I'll throw it up on another pull list down the road here. There is a fair amount of trades this week. I got DC Superhero Girls spaced out for my daughter. This is basically, DC's now labeling it DC Zoom. So the trade dress on all of these DC Superhero Girls is going to be all over the place. At one point in time, they're like, oh, we're going to number them. And then they stop numbering. So there's like one that has a number and then the rest don't. And then some just say DC and some they say DC Zoom now. So check it out on your own. It's really cool stuff for the young ones. This is basically for my daughter. Yep. Next up, we have God of War, the trade paperback. This collects issues 0 through 4 of the Dark Horse run. I'm curious to see what this entails. The God of War game was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, so I'm gonna check it out and see what it's all about. Next up is something that came out a little bit ago, but I didn't pick it up, and then I basically ordered the second volume that comes out in a few months and realized, oh crap, I didn't order number 1, and that's the Star Wars Epic Collection, Star Wars Legends Epic Collection. It's the Star Wars Epic Collection of the newspaper strips. This is volume 1. Volume 2 is out, I believe, in July or August. But yeah, this is all the newspaper strips that ran for Star Wars, so I'm really curious to see how this stuff is. I haven't had a chance to sit down and read some of this old Star Wars stuff. I want to, so at least I have it now to do that. Another big one out this week is the third book for Saga. Yes, the third deluxe hardcover for Saga is out. This collects, I think, issues 37 through 54. Don't quote me on that 30-something. I'm not sure which one it starts, but I know it ends at 54. So this will finish off your collection of Saga up till when they stopped with everything that's going on with it. So yeah, Saga hardcover. It'll look really nice next to these two. Okay, good stuff. It's also the last week of the month, which means it is previews time. And we got issue 369, and this is for July. This is books shipping in August. So you want to pick that up. You have your, that's the main one. You'll want to pick up the Marvel solicitation as well. Looks like Carnage stuff. And of course the DC previews for Joshua Williamson's Batman and Superman title that's coming out, which we talked a little bit about with him on the Comic Conspiracy podcast, episode 400. So yeah, check that out if you want. I did get a special order in, and that's another one of the Harley Quinn red, white, and black statues. This time it's the Frank Cho one, where she is basically trying to carry a bomb, but she's trying to carry a bomb so some ducks don't die. So I'm really curious to see how they did this with the base, yeah, it's another one for the red, white, and black statue line for Harley Quinn, but this is the Frank Cho one, so of course she's going to have a little bit more boobage than she would normally have, so yeah. That's it pretty much for this week. I did pick up something that I've been wanting to read. It's been on my it's been something that's been on my list, kind of in the back of my mind. Like, yeah, I need to get to it. I hear good things, but it's not something that I'm like jumping at. But because I've been watching a show on the DC streaming that is really, really, really good, probably the best comic book show out there, Doom Patrol. I'm actually really super excited to try and read it, and so I did pick up the first volume of the Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison. Yeah, I hear great stuff about it. If this is anything like the TV show, it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to dive in. I don't remember how many volumes there are. I think there's 3 volumes of this, yeah, super stoked to check out Doom Patrol from Grant Morrison, because I hear good things. So yeah, and this one has a blurb about the TV show right there. So, yep, that is, let me see, checking everything. Yep, that's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Oh, I completely forgot. I wanted to talk to you about the big news that came out just today. I'm recording this a little late because I had to go into the comic store this afternoon and package up items for our mail order customers. It is the end of the month, so we ship out all our mail order, and it's just a lot of stuff, so I needed to go in today and get that done. Not to mention that Ryan borrowed my stand for my recording, so I needed to get that back so I could actually record something. Yeah, some news dropped this evening that Tom King is writing the New Gods script with, I can't remember her name, but it's another screenwriter, and I'm super stoked. If it's anything like his Mr. Miracle, it's going to be fantastic and amazing, and something that everybody needs to watch. So that news was really cool to hear, especially off the heels of last week's Tom King news debacle, which was that he is being pushed off of Batman, but he wasn't. He's moving on to writing Batman Catwoman, which is basically finishing out his run on Batman, and because he's working on other things. Like, there's so much stuff going on with Tom King. With his writing, he's just an amazing writer. I really enjoy his stuff. I know a lot of people are just like, oh, why are you on the Tom King bandwagon? It's just blah. I'm sick of that psychobabble stuff. But again, a lot of that stuff is really interesting and really cool concepts if you think about where a lot of superheroes are in as characters. We don't really get to see too much of that in-depth psyche stuff, and even just the small just mundane stuff that most people don't get to see. It's nice to see some of that every now and then. And Tom King has done an amazing job with giving us some of those moments for Batman, for Mr. Miracle, for Vision. Just really solid stuff. So yeah, I'm super stoked. He's writing something. It's going to be a movie. Hopefully great, fantastic, good news all over. So that's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Be nice. It's the internet. It's a horrible place, but hopefully here it doesn't need to be. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My handle's @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 403, 402. I can't remember. I can't keep it straight. There's a link in the description below that'll have the actual number on it. We talk about the Tom King news from last week, as well as answer some listener questions. Yeah, so good stuff there. So check it out. And I'll also link to the Joshua Williamson interview, since I did mention the Batman Superman thing that's coming out. So yeah. What else? Oh, if you want to help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon, go to www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes before we record, and getting products. So thank you very much to all of our backers. It helps out immensely, and it helps keep us, engaged in this and doing, it's just thank you. You can help me out a little more directly. Any links on here or on my blog, conspiratorbrock.com, the link to Amazon. If you buy anything through those links, I get a little cut. Thank you very much for people that do that. You can also help Comics Conspiracy out by clicking on the digital links I have at conspiratorbrock.com for any of the titles. If you get through our digital storefront, we get a cut of it. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone who helps us out. More direct is going over to my eBay page to see what I'm getting rid of and seeing if you want it. Head over there and check that stuff out as well. I know some of you have voiced their concern and kind words towards my situation, in my living situation. I'm currently trying to work on it and stay in the area. It's going to be difficult. It is very expensive, so I hate to like do a GoFundMe or something like that. But it might come down to that if I want to stay in the area. I have the potential to get a teaching credential if I stay and have the teaching credential paid for, the education for paid for by the district I work at, but I have to stay in the area and keep the job I currently have to do that. So we'll see. Hopefully that's something that can happen, but it's time's ticking away. I only have till about June 30th to June 30th here, so I need to move out by then. We'll see. So I'll keep you posted and let you know what's going on. But as soon as I know, I'll let you guys know as well. So thanks for everyone for watching, and I will see you next week.